Q&A time. Let's do this. First question. I'm trying to make a major change in my life, but everyone, my family, my friends, my boyfriend, thinks I'm crazy and is telling me to be more responsible. What should I do? This is tricky. It's a pushback that a lot of people get when they deviate from the norm or what their friends and family perceive to be the norm. And the norm obviously varies depending on where you're at and what type of lifestyle that you already live. But anytime you deviate, whether it's by adopting a new philosophy or changing your worldview or changing your goals, changing the way that you date, changing the type of work that you're doing, you tend to get pushback because the people in your life want you to be stable and happy. And in order to be stable and happy, the perception is that you need to continue on the same course. Any change is the potential for you to make a big mistake and suffer, and they want to prevent that. It's the best of intentions that is making you miserable, essentially, because they want you to be happy, and our default setting to make the people in our lives happy is to keep them on a predictable track that we know will at least not be horrible. But for people who want something different, the predictable track can kind of be horrible, and so it's hard to explain to the people who are more conservative maybe in the way that they're living their lives, not political conservatism, but conservative in the way that they're living, where they know where they're going, they know what the results and rewards of that lifestyle will be. To them, anything that deviates from that is something to be concerned about. And so it's the fact that they care about you that is causing them to make it more difficult for you to make this lifestyle choice. So it's important to remember that they're not trying to make you suffer, to make you feel guilty or anything. What they're trying to do is like hug you tight and keep you safe. The end result just happens to be that you're suffering because you're trying to go out and learn new things and try new things and to deviate from this norm that they would like you to stay within. So that in mind, the best way to approach this is just to make it incredibly clear to them. Just explain to them formally, if you need to, like, listen, this is what makes me happy. This is what's fulfilling me. And I know that everything won't be perfect, and I know I will make some mistakes, and I know it will be difficult, but if I don't do this, if I don't have the chance to go out and make these mistakes and potentially be unhappy, I will not be fulfilled. I will not be happy. This will make me miserable if I'm not able to pursue this thing. Whether or not I continue along this track is irrelevant. It may be that I come back to where I'm at now, but the ability to go pursue these things and try these new things is directly correlated to my happiness. And so you have to understand this, that me making this change is not me leaving you behind or anything. This is just me going out and pursuing what makes me happy. And if they understand that, if they can see that, maybe give them a little bit of time to adjust to the idea, but if they can see that, then they're people worth keeping around. If they are people who cannot accept that you need to deviate, that you need to change something in order to be happy and fulfilled, then those are people who are telling you that they have your best interests in mind, but in reality what they want is comfort for themselves. They're trying to keep themselves comfortable by keeping you in a little box. Those are people that you should consider maybe weaning from your life to a certain degree. And it really, really sucks when this is the case with your family or with your close friends, people that you have a lot of history with. But if you're going to continue to grow and experience new things and try all of these things that you want to try and to live the lifestyle that you want to live, sometimes it's necessary to cull a little bit and to look at who's bringing value to your life and who is not. And if these are people who are actively, intentionally holding you back because it makes them more comfortable, even when you've made it very, very clear that for you to be happy, you need to go do these things, that's somebody who's going to be stacking the deck against you every opportunity that they get. And so it doesn't mean that you have to like break up with them if they're your family or friends or something. It doesn't mean that you need to remove them in that finalized way, because maybe they'll come around at some point once they see how happy you are. And once they grow accustomed to this new you that's going out and adventuring and experiencing new things. But take away some of the power that they have over you. Take away the influence that they have on your life. Because as long as they have it, they are going to exercise that power to try to keep you in one place and to keep you the same as you are today. And even though they might have the best of intentions, it's kind of irrelevant to the fact that those best of intentions will keep you miserable. So somebody sent me this question via Instagram. Isn't it boring traveling all the time, having to deal with all of the airports and long plane rides and long train rides, etc.? No. The short answer is no. A lot of these things are perceived to be boring because we have this idea that if we are sitting for a long period of time or in a cluttered environment where there's a lot of people moving around and it's very noisy and irritating and the TSA is everywhere, like these are situations that are supposed to be boring. But if you have the right mindset, these are actually very liberating scenarios. These are periods of time where you are forced to sit and do nothing but think or read or listen to music or stare out the window or watch other people moving around and interacting. And it gives you an immense sense of freedom if you approach it in the right way, because you can just sit and be. You have no place else to be. You're on some kind of track that takes you from here to here. And in between, there's no real responsibility in a lot of cases to do anything except sit and be present. And so if you have the right mindset, traveling is immensely liberating. And dealing with all the little annoying things in between, too, is not so much annoying as just something that you have to get into the rhythm of. And once you get into that rhythm, you find yourself kind of looking forward to it. I am somebody that has freedom to use my time however I like because of the type of lifestyle that I live. But even I look forward to these periods where I have like a long travel schedule ahead of me because it puts me in a completely different mindset. I don't have all of the notifications and pings that are associated with my normal life. I don't have anybody who has any way of getting in touch with me, which means I can settle into a long reading session or a long writing session or a long podcast listening session. Whatever it happens to be, I can sink completely into it without feeling that constant ping on my consciousness that says you should be doing this other thing. It restricts your options, and in restricting your options, you are liberated. So again, I would say no. I really look forward to these types of things. And if you can't, if you have trouble with these types of things, maybe work that preference into your travel plans if you do any travel, or seriously rethink traveling if you are wanting a travel lifestyle and cannot deal with airports or sitting for long periods of time. If you need to be completely entertained by external factors all the time, you're going to have a little bit of trouble with travel. You really need to be able to get in here and entertain yourself all the time. And that is something that I really, truly enjoy and I've gotten really good at. And so travel for me is one of my favorite things. If you have trouble with it and you do not intend to change that, then maybe consider a different lifestyle. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have a question you'd like me to answer in a future video, you can ask it in the comments below. You can say howdy to me elsewhere on the internet at Colin is my name, pretty much everywhere, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, etc. You can visit colin.io and see more of my work, see the different projects I'm involved with, and see the full list of books that I've written. And if you did enjoy this video, you can give it a thumbs up like, you can subscribe to my channel, or you can share it with a friend. That would be very helpful and appreciated. Thanks, guys.